Pranam everyone. Namaste. Harihi Om. Swagatam again to another session, series of hopeful that we in these series connect to Shastra Parampara, which conveys nothing but Atma Vidya in the drishti of Vedanta studies that we are engaging in. So since we are starting after a gap of almost a year, we all have understood, every seeker of truth, of knowledge, appreciates one fact, that everything is not in our control. This is the beginning, in fact, mostly from where we start our journeys. When an individual starts to appreciate that there are factors that are not in our hands, we have no choice but to surrender to the totality. And it is in that spirit that in our culture, we have superimposed. We have a Lord available, Bhagwan available, on whom we have attributed the qualities that they can take away all the obstacles that may arise in any of the auspicious karyas that we may engage ourselves in. And this study, for any Vedanta student, for any student for that matter, whoever starts any study, knows that study is not a short-term course. All studies take their time. Even our schooling takes 12 years, average. And then super, karte, we all have a lot of hours, years spent just educating ourselves. The purpose of all that education, we know very well, is just Sharir Yatra. What about this knowledge, which is nothing really to do with Sharir Yatra? It doesn't much contribute, truly speaking. Yet it is a body of knowledge, and it respects the same perseverance like any other system of knowledge. So it takes time. And because in the format in which we all learn, we are not those who have given up everything and residing with for a short-term period, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and then going through the whole study together, sab chhod chhad ke. Since we are integrating to learn how to live with these principles simultaneously, it's a different path. And being so, it is definitely a lot more susceptible to external circumstances and situations. The regularity can be impacted because of our other commitments, etc. So in the beginning, since we are starting once again after a certain study gap that I took, I'd like to invoke our Vigneshwara and hope that we are able to conclude this text without vignas, and all of us, please, in your own places, invoke with the right spirit that whatever best we can do from this text that Shankara has written for mumukshus, we'll give our best, we'll receive our best, and therefore all our vignas, may he take them away. So we'll just start with that prayer. Vakratunda Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. And we will start with our class. The text is on However much I prepare myself, I seem to always. Where is the text? We are starting with Atma Bodha. Just take the invocations first that are in our tradition. Most of you would know. Those who don't, for today, just listen. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punar Punaha. Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So first, a little introduction. As always, one of my weakest points, the best points are study the text itself. We don't need really an introduction. But for those who may be new here, just a few minutes of you connecting our life to Vedantic study. What does every human being want? Answer is very simple. You may have heard it, you may have discovered it yourself. We would say happiness. Alternatively, if you think a little deeper, between happiness and freedom, what do we want? Between happiness and freedom, what do we want? Are these two synonyms? Are they coming together? Happiness and freedom? If I give happiness and bind a person, is it possible for that person to be happy for long? If I give freedom, complete freedom, and say, up to you now, is that person happy? Has modern life, which is relatively fairly more free-oriented, freedom-oriented, individual-oriented, lot of social, क्या कहते हैं उसको, मर्यादाएं, those that were niyam, social bondages that were there that people followed in the name of dharmas or respecting duties, etc. They have all fairly diminished in society, at least in the cities, a lot more. Are these people happy? What is it that a human being really wants? The common answer has always been happiness, happiness, happiness. Okay, किसी को थोड़ा और ओरिजिनल बनना है, सो वो कहेंगे फ्रीडम, फ्रीडम, फ्रीडम. बट क्या ये दो चीजें अलग हैं? Are they separate? I realized that on examination, both of them I want. I want happiness also. I want freedom also. If we give happiness and we give freedom, do you want it only now? No, no. I want it long. How long? Lifelong. After that, say one lifetime, we are giving you a full life of happiness. Nothing else. Freedom, happiness, sab kuch. Everything that you want. But next life, you're going to be caught. No, 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 no. Wait. That's not what I said. When I say I want happiness, I want freedom, I don't want a condition with it. I want unconditionally happiness felt always. When you know that unconditional word in itself is a very poignant word. Because all of us will realize it is in this word condition that Vedantic knowledge will start unfolding. What robs our happiness? What robs our sense of freedom? What robs us of feeling complete at the moment? It is this anticipation. It is this concept of I want it forever. That I'm dependent on it. That I look for it. Even if I have it, I still project it should last forever. That unconditionality is what bothers me. My happiness is not unconditional. My sense of freedom today, I know is subject to time. In our present times, we know what's happening. Whoever went for a vacation, some of their lives changed forever. Happiness one moment, next moment, unpredictable, unimaginable outcome. That means this is a very basic in Vedanta. इसको हम 1000 बार भी बोलते हैं, हमें 2 दिन तक याद रहता है, तीसरे दिन, that also if we are very advanced in our mananam and very sincere, तो 2 दिन याद रहता है. Otherwise, class खत्म होते ही starts to bullo till next class. That this can be repeated 1,000 times and it still doesn't hold within us. It's long enough, strong enough to finally change the pursuit of our life. It does hold us. It does shake us. We recognize the facts of life, but it doesn't become strong enough mostly for it to wake us up to our own sense of Viveka Shakti. This Shastra in simple terms says, ये जो constant struggle बना रहता है ना, चाहे आप उसको happiness के लिए कहो, चाहे आप उसको freedom के लिए कहो, चाहे आप उसको sustenance के लिए कहो, existence के लिए कहो, आप कोई भी नाम दे दो. An average person who doesn't have the leisure to sit here in class today and who has to work for his day-to-day life and living, अगर वो आज काम नहीं करता तो उसको पता नहीं कि रात को उसके पास डिनर है कि नहीं है. He is also in a mode of struggle. That sense of struggle, Shastra says the first point, if you want to pick up the maximum from the Vedantic study, from any Vedantic study, अगर आपको सबसे ज्यादा एक्सट्रैक्ट करना है, निचोड़ना है उसमें से, I always think of that जब हम घर में पनीर बनाते हैं, or you take out any juice and you put it through a muslin cloth. And then if you have strong arms, those who have strong hands, they extract extra. Those whose hands are not so strong, they realize कि थोड़ा और हो सकता है, but you are tired. You are not able to extract everything out of it. There's something that's left and you feel bad. I wish I could have extracted more, but your hands are cramping. You just cannot squeeze out any more out of it. Vedant studies say, आप कितना squeeze out कर लोगे? You will squeeze out as much as you have connected to the sense of struggle, which is perpetual in every human being. It is not you and me selective. It is every human being in every era, in every yuga, in every kala, as long as Srishti is going to be here, and Puranas have told us, abhi to hum Kalyug ke shuruaat mein hai, so there is a long journey ahead. We don't have to think that something is disappearing from here. It's not. This has still a long cycle to go before it takes a Mahapralaya. So if this creation is felt at any time by any human within this creation span of as many years that Puranas have projected it to be, every human being will feel the same. आप सत्युग में हो तो राम जी भी जब आए तो राम जी को भी क्या हुआ, सीता जी आई उनको भी क्या हुआ, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. वी डोंट नीड टू गो दैट फार. द आइडिया इज, अगर आप अपनी सेंस ऑफ स्ट्रगल को पहचान गए एंड उससे ऑब्जेक्टिव हो गए. व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय ऑब्जेक्टिव? मीन्स डोंट पर्सनलाइज इट. Oh, my life, my problem, my this, my that. It's not to do with you. This struggle is to do with the fact that you have a birth in a human form. As a human being, I look upon it in a negative way. I look upon it as a source of dukkham. And this is where Shastra comes as anugraha in our life. Shastra says, exactly this human birth is a source of your freedom and sukham forever. What you're seeking is what you get because you have the struggle in a human form. If you don't have the struggle in a human form, if you do not experience any struggle, which is impossible, but if you project, no, I want a life full of freedom and happiness and I don't want any struggle, then you are losing out on an opportunity to self-evolve, self-grow, to get anchored, to understand and realize the subtler realms of life, which only the buddhi will tap initially. And that is where Shastra Adhyanam starts. So we are in this text now, Atma Bodh. What is Atma Bodh truly as a text? Very short text, 68 verses. Before resuming any other class, I thought it will be helpful to go over it. A lot of people call it only as a Prakarna Grantha. Prakarna Grantha means it's an introductory text. Most places where Vedanta is taken as a course, it is taken as a second text after Tattva Bodh. That's like a normal way in which you introduce Vedantic knowledge to a person's life. But this text is a very unique text. It is helpful at the initial stage by giving us entirely the concepts that are covered in Vedantic knowledge. At the same time, after the entire study is over, which is the Prasthana Trayi, the principal Upanishads, 10 principal Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras, once a student has covered studying this, thinking about it, reflecting about it, once this is covered, once again you come back to Atma Bodh. It's like a capsule which starts to work to digest and to start the reflecting process, if it is not done earlier already. So this covers two areas. Initially, as an introduction, Prakarna Grantha, which means it is devoid of any uha, poha that bhashyams go through. Purva Paksha and then Siddhanta and a lot of logic and a lot of Nyaya that you need a serious study and a follow-up of. This is just simple verses. We all know who's attributed this to. This is Adi Shankaracharya. It's attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. He's written this. His contributions, jitna bole utna kam hai. The glory of this. Because but for all his contributions, all that he did was revive Hinduism in his time. Revived Sanatan Dharma in his time. हम अब की क्या बात कर रहे हैं? In his time, the onslaught of other thoughts were so powerful in the society that this Sanatan Dharma thoughts were getting submerged and less people were getting availability of it, and they were getting inspired by it, or they were able to tap it. The transaction of knowledge, because it was entirely Shruti based, it had to be passed on through hearing before he put it down into bhashyams. He wrote that tradition of transference of knowledge, which was oral before. He wrote it down, preserving it, and now we have it. That's how big the contribution is. Not lost till now. We don't even know. There's a debate, when was Shankara really born? Was it the 8th century or was it actually before Christ? Even this is debatable. But imagine, till today, this parampara is held because we have this bhashyams, his contributions. Now, what did he do other than that? He realized that because these are two needing a lot of commitment and a lot of dedication from an average student, from an average person, he realized this is getting missed also. So he wrote down a few Prakarna Granthas like this. Like Tattva is attributed to him, but probably not his. But Atma Bodh is without debate written by Adi Sankaracharya. That's what they proclaim. Through the stotras, devotional hymns and all this, Shankaracharya presents this in an Anushtup meter, the common meter. We are calling it common. Why? Because this meter everybody knows. Why do we know Anushtup meter? Because it is Bhagavad Gita. All the shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita are in the Anushtup meter. This Atma Bodh word itself. What is it? Atma. Atma Bodh is actually one word, consisting of two words, Atma and Bodh. The actual explanation of the word Atma cannot be given in an objective way. We all know this, most of us would know this. Atma cannot be an object of comprehension. If I say the word cup, you hear the word cup. What comes to your mind? The image of cup. This is an objective appreciation. This is an objective knowledge. Knowledge about an object. Atma is not an object. It's a subject. Therefore, you cannot really describe Atma. So how do you convey Atma? What is this whole knowledge about? Atma Bodh hai kiske liye? Agar aap bata hi nahi sakte, convey hi nahi kar sakte, then what really is Atma Bodh for? Its lakshanas are given. It is in Linga Puran, it is attributed, it is said it is in Linga Puran, but in Katha Upanishad, Shankara Bhashyam, Shankara uses this as an indicator, lakshana of Atma. What is it? It's a very famous verse, Yacha Apnoti. Apnoti means phailta hai jo. Ap, vyapt. The root word is ap. It means vyapt hona. Vyapt means spreading, pervading. That which pervades. अपने आप में first लक्षण. Yacha atte. That into which everything resolves. Atte. Gets laya. Yacha atti. जो खाया जाता है. खाया क्या जाता है? That's very strange. What do you eat? No. That which consumes means experiences as if the entire universe. The real understanding of that would be, who is the true experiencer of this universe? Without whom the entire universe will not be there. So in a way, जिसके बिना जगत एक्सपीरियंस हो ही नहीं सकता, वो आत्मा है. एंड दीज आर ऑल पॉइंट्स ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन. किसके बिना जगत एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं हो सकता? इफ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, व्हाट विल इट बी? No? Who will it be? Without whom the world cannot be experienced, to be thought of. Vishayaneha is the objects. Yacha asya santataha bhavaha. It is constant. Here, asya hai, as hai. It is there. It is not something that is to be produced later. It is not something that has to be experienced in time. It is not something that is going to give a new experience. It is here now. It will always be. It will never not be. That is asya, है, जिसपे सब कुछ आधारित है. Santatah bhava, always there, and it is imperishable. It cannot be destroyed. That's why it is always there, because it cannot be destroyed. Tasmat, and that's an important word, very often gets missed. Tasmat means therefore. Therefore, Atma iti kirtyate. It is glorified as Atma. Kirtyate means उसके वखान किए जाते हैं, उसकी glory बताई जाती है. That is Atma. There is a Pathantaram which says Giyate, means it's sung as Atma. Yachapnoti, Yadadatte, Yachati, Vishayaneha, Yachasya Santato Bhavaha, Tasmad Atmeti Kirtyate is the Atma word from Atma Bodha. Knowledge of what? We'll come to the second word first. Both. What is both? Budh. Budh is the root. Budh by itself means avagamane. For all of us who are good at Hindi, avagamane, and there is another word, a root also, which means bodhane. Bodhan hona. Janna. And if you take its expansive meaning, means it can be used in different contexts, then it means to know, to understand, to be awakened to with knowledge, to think, to learn. That is meaning of the word bodha. Actual, combine the word. What is Atma Bodha then? Means that knowledge about Atma, which is to know Atma, to understand Atma, to be awakened to with the knowledge of Atma, to think because of the knowledge of Atma, to learn about Atma. This is a common popular way of understanding the term Atma Bodh. But if you really get into the root of the word, thoda sa, or with the help of a little more grammar probably, then there is a special usage actually in this word Atma Bodha. It is used in the sense that by knowing this text, it will make you know. The text will make you know. It is used in the sense of it becomes the cause of your knowing. It's almost like saying, the popular example they give you will be supposing I teach, and supposing you inspire me to teach. When you inspire me to teach, I am not the direct cause of it. I am, of course, teaching. But who's the inspiration behind my action of teaching? You are the inspiration behind my action of teaching. If you are the inspiration because of which I am teaching, in the same way, Atma Bodh, these 68 verses, are the reason by which we will know Atma. Is that clear? I can't. Right now. Is that clear? These verses are helping to know Atma. Is it clear so far? If anyone has a question, you can raise the hand. At an appropriate time, we'll take it up. Okay. So far, we are okay. Anybody has any? All right. So I presume we are okay so far. Right. That is the word Atma Bodh. Now, any text. This is only the starting trouble of every text before we get into the real text. We have to cover the specifics of the knowledge. Why is this called Vedantic knowledge? Why is this text given so much importance in the entire tradition of Vedantic literature? Any text must qualify Anubandha Chatustayam, means fourfold factors, which should be very clearly stated for that text to be qualifying itself worthy of study and a scripture. What is it? The first one is Vishayaha, topic. हम कोई भी किताब पढ़ते हैं. I'm sorry, I'm a little पुराने ज़माने का. So my mind has got stuck at Harry Potter. I do not know anything after that. Now, supposing you pick up a book of Harry Potter, the world has moved on. I seem to have got stuck at that example. If you pick up a book of Harry Potter, what do you expect from that book? A story of Harry Potter around it. If you're more inquisitive, you will see who's the one who's written, what would it be, and etc. And once you read one, what is it called? One volume, she'll leave you hanging in between. Afterwards, that's a mark of a good author. She'll make you leave thoughts behind, incomplete, looped thoughts, so that you will search inside to complete that loop, and you will wait for the next volume. The entire topic will be what? Fantasy. Nothing else. It's fantasy. When I pick up the book Atma Bodh, 68 verses, what do I expect from it? What is going to be the topic of it? Will it be some fantasy? Will it be some fiction? Is it a biography? In which category should I place this book? Shastra says it will give you Brahma, Atma, Aikya, Rupa, Jnanam. The topic of this text will be, it gives you knowledge of Brahma, Atma, Aikya, oneness. Oneness of Brahman and Atman. That's the topic. और कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा इस किताब से. So I'm sorry to disappoint everybody in the world who think that by studying Vedanta, they will get prosperity, they will get reduction of anxiety or stress. I don't know if it'll reduce. It could also increase because you don't understand initially. The topic has to be what? Let's respect it. The topic is going to be only Brahma Gyan. अगर हम वेदांत को ब्रह्म ज्ञान से अलग कर देते हैं और उसको हम कहते हैं जी we are modern, like lot of approaches in the world today is where Vedanta is used in management principles and in this and in, which is fine in its own place. That's a different place completely to come from. You are holding the ear from a different place. But this topic clearly stated is Brahma, Atma, Aikya, Rupa, Jnanam. That's the Vishay. Why should I study this text? What is the prayojan? Why do you read the Harry Potter series? I would really love to know that. Why does one read the Harry Potter series? What do you get from that Harry Potter series? What did you get? And in fact, all those young people who must have spent many years of their growing up years reading that book. And I think before that, everybody spent seeing the serial Friends. Their entire youth got spent looking at that serial and fantasizing that sort of relationship. And then came for the next generation, this is only 2 datas I have at the moment. क्या प्रयोजन था इसका? अगर adult होके you look back, what did you think you got from it? As objective adults, we would say wasted time. Nothing. It was just some entertainment. So what will we do after these 68 verses? It will take us some weeks. क्या मिलेगा इसके बाद? आत्यंतिक संसार निवृत्ति. Atyantika. You have to qualify the term. Samsara nivritti is normally said. What is a samsara nivritti? Nivritti means withdrawal, correction, removal. Kiska removal? Samsar. What did we start the class today with? That sense of struggle is called samsar. That sense of struggle, which is samsar, removal of that. Atyantika, once and for all. Even the gravest of samsar felt for the one who is struggling the most in life. And what are the kinds of struggles? He's going to, I think, pick up somewhere. If not, I'll touch them somewhere else. All the felt struggles at the physical level through all kinds of vyadhi, roga, etc. As the body keeps growing, we have all influxes of diseases that take over. There is a struggle at the level of the physical body. There is a struggle at the level of the emotions, trying to fulfill the emotional voids. There is a struggle at the level of intellect, because both of, I think everybody has given up also. Very soon we give up trying to find answers for anything in life because nobody knows anything. So we all kind of just resign to the fact that gadi chalao, that kind of a thing. But there is a struggle at every level. Atyantika, for one who has a lot of it at every level. Once and for all, there is a nivritti of this. That's the prayojan of what? Of this topic called Brahma, Atma, Aikya, Rupa, Jnanam. In this form, when you get this knowledge, इसका फल क्या है कि हमारे ये जो sense of struggle जो हमें disturbed रखती ही है perpetually. In fact, our bottom line of existence is all dukha, 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 spiked once in a while with some little frill of sukha. Fizz is the right word. It's all at the base, dukha, 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 dukha. Dukha is the extreme word, unhappiness, struggling, etc. And in between, thodi anand ki jo hame spikes aa jati hai, fizz aa jati hai, and it's when you open the soda bottle and you get the buzz, and then it's gone, khatam. It's something like that. Our happiness is all in the world like that. This is the prayojan of studying this. Then you need to know the sambandha. What is a sambandha? This is a very interesting topic that Shastra picks up. Between you, sambandhas that are at different level. Between you, the student of seeking this knowledge, you're going to invest your time. I'm going to invest my time and energy. We are hoping to learn something out of this. This is developing a relation with the text, with the knowledge. क्या संबंध है जानने वाले का इस विषय के साथ? How will this text relate to me? They said the relationship is between the text, which is the grantha, and vishaya. Vishaya is Brahma Atmaikya Rupa, Jnanam, and grantha is Atma Bodh. The vishaya, the sambandha between them is bodhaka, bodhya. Bodhak means it will become the revealer. Bodhya means what? So it will become the revealer. The text will be the revealer of bodhya, the vishaya, the topic, which is Brahma, Atma, Aikya, Jnanam. Bodhak is the grantha, वो जनवाएगा. Bodhya is the topic. क्या जनवाएगा ये किताब? 68 verses क्या करा लेगा हमारा? ब्रह्म आत्मा ऐक्य रूप का ज्ञान देगा. There is another sambandha. That is between prayojan and between the grantha. Sadhya, sadhaka rupa. The prayojan and the grantha, the topic, the book. The book is the sadhak. Sadhya क्या है? प्रयोजन. Atyantak samsara nivritti will be my goal of life. That goal of life, or that goal that I hope to achieve through the study of this text, that gets through the completion of this text. Then comes the last. And I do not know why he takes this as the last always. I would think this should be the first. अगर हम IPS एग्जाम, IFS एग्जाम, हम कोई भी एग्जाम देने जाते हैं, मैनेजमेंट एग्जाम देने जाते हैं, etc. As we said, we spent so many years of our life trying to get qualifications. For everything, you need a qualification. Adhikari. If I have to join the Air Force, so many people are aspirants of joining Air Force and Navy and these services. किसी की height इतनी छोटी हो जाती है, किसी का कुछ इतना हो जाता है, किसी का with this little thing. I know of someone who just missed, who so desperately wanting to join the armed forces, but just could not because the height did not match and he missed it by a few centimeters. Disqualified. The more you study Vedanta, the more it opens that its applications and everything sure enough. अधिकारी अगर हमें हर चीज के लिए चाहिए, for everything is a call. Why, even if we keep a helper at home, why do we dismiss that helper finally? Because she wasn't coming up to your expectation of, or he, or whatever. Adhikari means who's eligible for this knowledge. What is eligibility? He says, Sadhana Chatustaya Sampanna Mumukshu. That is the eligibility of this Adhikari. Who is a Mumukshu? We'll come to that. Sadhana Chatustaya Sampanna. For all of us who's done Tattvabodh, this should be clear. That Adhikari is the first topic of the first verse of Atma Bodha. अधिकारी कौन है इस ग्रंथ का, इस विषय का, जिसका फल है आत्यंतिक संसार निवृत्ति? इसका अधिकारी कौन है? Okay. I will chant today. We'll see how we move ahead later. Just since everybody knows the Anushtup meter, I think. Is there anybody who doesn't know? I can't see everybody when I have a presentation. I'm sorry. Everybody knows? Is there anyone who doesn't know the Anushtup? Good. Okay, I think everybody knows mostly. Nobody has done this, so I presume if you've not done this, then it means that you know it. Okay, okay, good. So we have some who have done it. Yes, Divya, you want to say something?
Namaste, Deepti ji. I think someone raised a hand who doesn't know. I think it was Ujjwal.
Okay. ठीक है. No worries. Yes, Ujjwal ji, I think you will catch up very soon. We will start practicing also. Thank you, Divya. Today we'll just have an orientation, and then next time maybe we'll start the practice of the verse itself, Ucharan also. So, Tapobhi, Tapobhi Kshina-papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam-apekshyoyam Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. I'm chanting again. Tapobhi Shina-papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam-apekshyoyam Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. This is the first verse of this text, qualifying the Adhikari. Who was the Adhikari? Sadhana Chatustaya Sampanna. What is Sadhana Chatustaya Sampanna? We are just going to come further quickly. Let's start with the verse first. Oh, I need that. Okay. Atma Bodha Vidhiyate. Should be here. Atma Bodha Vidhiyate. Vidhiyate basically means virachyate, rachna karna, compose. Atma Bodha. So Shankara is saying, I am composing Atma Bodha. I'm beginning to now write because he's written stotras, devotional hymns. So he says, this is also a composition I'm making. For whom are you making this composition? Fantastic terms. Tapo bhihi. The first thing you get from this word is it's plural. For all those, जितने भी लोग जिन्होंने तपस की है. तपस कैसी होती है? कितने प्रकार की होती है? What is called tapas? It's austerity in a general term. What is austerity? Put it in English term, simpler term, discipline, self-disciplines. Nobody forces disciplines upon you. When you take upon disciplines for yourself, for the sake of your own growth, and what you think is right for your growth, in whichever areas you discipline yourself, means you are restraining your freedom. Meri marzi. When you start restraining that freedom by your own will, because you understand the importance of that and how it will contribute to your own, whatever you want to achieve or goal in life, that is called discipline, self-discipline, tapas. This tapas, Shastra says, Bhagavad Gita says, it's defined in different ways in different texts. Sharira Vanga Maya, Manomaya. At the level of the body, you can have discipline. At the level of the speech, you will have discipline. And at the level of the mind, you will have discipline. So these disciplines at the level of the physical body, what are the disciplines? We all know them. I think that's become very popular now. And thanks to that, a lot of people are having good health also. But it's not just the health factor over there. Physically keeping yourself fit. This is a gross body. Gross body is an upadhi. It is a gift of Ishvara. It's a gift of the elements. Prakriti ka sambandh hai ye. Prakriti ka hi coming together hai that is giving us this shariram. This sharir, I respect that I house in it, taking care of it. So we all take care of the body as much as possible, which means we don't do things that destroy the health of the body. That is at the level of the physical body. At the level of the speech, less restrained, less people do this, less people actually follow this discipline, but more people need to follow this discipline, which means what? Let us talk things that are beneficial for others, that are useful for others, that are pleasing to others, that are helpful to others. Let our Vani be purified. Means it should be measured. आजकल की दुनिया में I don't think anybody understands this. But this is a beautiful practice because as you come into spiritual life, you realize Vani is a beautiful means for self-growth. So a lot of sadhaks and tapasvis in the past took a lot of care of what words they use because words are not inert. The way we use our words is also in itself a yoga. That tapas to use the right words in the right context, the right people, that is called Vang tapas, austerity of the speech. And then Manasa tapas, we know that at the mind level, freed of all this thought, incorrect thoughts, etc. Control of over thoughts. What is the advantage of that tapas at the three levels? Tapo bhihi. जिन्होंने ये तपस की है, it's referring to people. Tapo bhihi. Those who have done these tapas in life, what happened by that tapas? Sheena papa nam. Their papa got sheen. Sheen means धीरे धीरे कम होते 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 खत्म होते रहते हैं. They wither away. That's called sheen होना. Shaya is the last step. हमारा शरीर क्या होता है? हमारा शरीर एक बारी में नहीं खत्म होता. हमारा शरीर क्षीण धर्म से, उसका क्षीण हो रहा. Since we are born, the minute we come to the stage of growth. By the time we've come to teens, maturity, the minute it stopped growing, that moment the decline sets in. That is called sheen hona. But when does it manifest? My decline may have started at 12, 13, 14, 15 years, but it manifests at 30, 40, 50 years. इसको कहते हैं शीन. मीन्स रोज रोज नहीं दिखता हमको, बट हो रहा है. इसको शीण कहते हैं. तपस से क्या फल है? कोई भी तपस, when it is done in the spirit of tapas, इससे पाप क्षीण होते हैं, चाहे हमको दिखे ना दिखे. इनफैक्ट हमें नहीं दिखेंगे. हमें कब दिखेंगे? When they start having a major effect, means now my life has less of struggles, etc. Life as you'll start feeling the divine interference, I would call it. The divine, what is the right word? The divine contribution, the divine hand in functioning in your life. There's something that keeps happening the right way. जब आपको पता है कि कुछ गलत, like there were some people who were just there a few minutes before and then they just, for odd reasons, they left from that place. I'm talking about the Pahalgam. Suddenly something happens. That's some interference that has come so powerful that it takes you away from something inauspicious to happen. जब जीवन में ये होने लगता है, तब हमें पता है कि अब पापों का हमारे नाश हो चुका है. ये पाप and punya are different topics. At this point in this book, we are not touching upon them. But he's talking about the adhikari lakshana. So what is it? He says, for only those people who are going to benefit from this book and the study, who's investing the time here, will they get the benefit? That depends if there is tapas behind. And that tapas should have done sheena papana. As a result of which what? Shantanam. Shantanam is a very regular meaning. तो हम शांत शब्द सुन के ही सबको बहुत अच्छा लगता है. मन की शांति. That's correct. Peace of mind, yes. But when do you get the peace of mind? He says here, when that Shantanam is an upalakshana for Shamadama Adi Shataka Sampatti. All these we'll just touch upon. That Shantanam, which is Shamadama Adi Yuktanam, means you are युक्त हुए हो, आप जुड़े हो in discipline से. Shamadama Adi. In discipline से आप, when you have joined yourself, means you are pursuing these disciplines for them. So what is the first one? Tapas कर रहे. अधिकारी क्या बने? Shantanam. And then what? Vitaraginam. Vitaraginam. Those whose rag have gone, rag and dvesh both, they have subdued themselves. Vitaraginam. This Vitaraginam means vairagya in other terms. Grown over. They have vairagya. And vairagya, we know, is not without viveka. So, lot of, okay, some tikas, some explain karte samay, people say, why is viveka not taken in this adhikari lakshan? Because vairagya is taken to be impossible without viveka. People ask if this is in Shamadamadi Shatakam, where is the viveka mentioned in this verse? Don't worry. Vairagya means viveka sahit vairagya. There has to be viveka. Who is, for whom? Mumukshu. Mumukshu naam. वो जो मुमुक्षु है, now that we have said happiness and freedom and forever I want all this, I want freedom from these struggles and I want to be happy, then I will pursue my sense of struggle in some direction that should give me that freedom. I want freedom. That expression of wanting something which will free me from this state of limitation, or you call it in a larger cycle from the Continuity of this birth and death cycle, कुछ भी word अपने अपने सबके होते हैं, that it connects with you, that mumukshu, apekshah, keeping that in mind, these people in mind, I am this Atma Bodha vidhiyate. This is Atma Bodh that I am composing. Now, what was this Sadhana Chatustayam? Very quickly, we'll go through because it's a revision of Tattva Bodh, and if somebody is doing it for the first time, then Viveka Vino Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Vicharaha is Vivekaha. Then what is Vairagya? Ihamutra Artha Phala Bhoga Viragaha. Having a detachment, not indifference. There's a difference between the two. Having a detachment from fruits to be accrued, भोगना, भोगने की वृत्ति से, भोगने की इच्छा से, इह, इधर, in this lifetime, amutra, later on, जन्नत में जाके, what is that? Some other heaven that they talk of, जहाँ जाके you will be with pari. ताकि इधर I can kill people, but there I will go and enjoy with, I will reside with urs and whatever. I'm not sure of those terms, but you understood. So, iha amutra. फल भोग, चाहे यहाँ के फल भोगना हो, चाहे आगे जाके किसी और लोक में, स्वर्ग लोक में, वैकुंठ में, even Vaikuntha with Vishnu itself, Shiva himself, Kailasha also. Thank you very much. I'm not looking for bhog of my spiritual disciplines that I'm taking up. I'm not going to barter them for these. My spiritual disciplines are meant for आत्यंतिक samsara nivritti. मैं अगर आपके साथ रह भी गया हो विष्णु, क्या होगा जब ये काल खत्म होगा? Human being will not even register the amount of years, but ultimately what is happening, that level of viveka shakti has to be developed first for a student of Vedanta. उसको पता होना चाहिए, उसको खुद को समझ में होती है कि मेरे अपने कर्मों की मुझे क्या चाहिए, what do I want out of them? If I'm looking for some pleasures and some happiness, then it will not be that muslin cloth from which you extract the most. These will become the deterrents which will not allow you to take the best out of it. Then, in another place he says, and that gets connected to this book, Kim Nama Vairagya. What is Vairagya? And this is a beautiful definition worth remembering. Adrid. अदृढ़, दृढ़ मतलब क्या, ये सबको पता होता है. दृढ़ मतलब फर्म, जिद्दी, अटका हुआ, दृढ़, दैट काइंड. अदृढ़ मतलब नॉट फर्म, लूज, फ्लेक्सिबल, नॉट पावरफुल, नॉट स्ट्रॉन्ग. व्हाट? राग द्वेष. अदृढ़ राग द्वेषवत्वम, जिसका राग और द्वेष अदृढ़ है. एवरेज इंसान दुनिया में जो फल भोगी है, you cannot be a फल भोगी if your राग द्वेष is not दृढ़. राग द्वेष होने से ही, and राग द्वेष, here I'm not going to go into the details, we've done this in different texts in different places, but just to touch upon, it means very powerful likes and dislikes. These are common translations, but we don't need to borrow translations. Rag and dvesh in Hindi itself is very clear to us. वो हिंदी में ही कन्वे हो रहा है. आप लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक्स करोगे तो आप उसको थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूट कर जाते हो अर्थ को. And you find people struggling in samsar because of rag dvesh. So adrida raga dveshavatva, that is vairagya. So what was the verse? Vitaraginam. That Vitaraginam was mentioning about the vairagis. What are those vairagis? जिनके राग द्वेष अदृढ़ है और जिनको यहाँ और वहां लेटर ऑन किसी फल में बहुत ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं चलता उनका कि मुझे ये भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, ऐसे ही चाहिए, वैसे ही चाहिए, इतना ही चाहिए, इतना नहीं चाहिए, अब नहीं चाहिए, बाद में चाहिए, 10 साल बाद चाहिए, 20 साल बाद चाहिए, आज नहीं चाहिए, नहीं आज ही चाहिए, अभी ही चाहिए, इधर ही चाहिए, नहीं नहीं इधर नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे ही चाहिए, इसी में चाहिए. That is called ragadvesh. The one who's freed of that force. And then is Shama, Dama, Adi, Shataka, Sampatti. I'll take 2 minutes. What is Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan? We saw this again in Tattva Bodh. Very quickly go through these definitions. Shama is Mano Nigraha, mental disciplines, mind discipline, mind control. Dama is Chakshuradi Bahya Indriya Nigraha, sense control. Your capacity to withdraw your physical Shama, senses, back into its own source of the mind whenever you sense the attraction and the aversions that will ignite your own ragadvesh. That is Dhamma. Uparati, Swadharma Anushtanam eva is called Uparati. Establishing only in what I ought to do. Mere Swadharma, by my interest, by my pravritti, natural inclinations, what I am tuned to, I should abide in that. Whether that gives me a successful career or not, or whether that makes me powerful in the world or not, no. If it's my inclination, I have to abide. That's called uparati, which means keeping myself away from all other things just because there is a Bollywood actor earns more. Uh, and I would think, oh, I will also become a Bollywood actor because that is called getting out of my Swadharma. वो उपरति नहीं होता. उपरति, I hope conveys the meaning. Withdraw, उपरति, अपने आप को खींच लेना वापस जहां आपका माइंड निकल जाता है into paradarma. किसी और के धर्म जब अट्रैक्टिव लगने लगते हैं, pull back yourself, keep yourself to your own nature, your own capacities, and what you can contribute and what you can do. Keep your life within that framework. Do not get attracted to paradharma. Titiksha. What is titiksha? Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkhadi, Sahishnutvam. Forbearance for heat and cold, honor and dishonors, Sukha and Dukh, etc. Pairs of opposites that make the world. Forbearance of that. That's titiksha. What is Shraddha? Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasaha is Shraddha. यहाँ पे और कोई मतलब नहीं है श्रद्धा का. There is no blind faith, there is no blind following, there is nothing. In Vedanta, Shraddha has a definition. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasaha. शास्त्रों में विश्वास होना चाहिए और जो शास्त्रों को वक्ता है, वो वक्ता अगर शास्त्र के अनुकूल बात कर रहा है तो विश्वास होना ठीक है. अगर वो उसके अनुकूल नहीं कर रहा, you don't need to have blind faith at all. That is Shraddha. Shraddha should be in the Shastra Vakya. And of course, if the Mukham is also aligned to it, perfect. Otherwise, no obligation. Samadhanam, Chittai Kagrata. Chit ki ekagrata is Samadhanam. All this is Sadhana Chatustaya Sampatti. So we come back to the first verse and let's see if we are able to okay. Okay, I'll take a minute to know where is my... Just a minute more, please, and I'm sure I will... here it is. Yeah, now you will see the first verse. Tapobhi sheena papanam shantanam vitaraginam. That vitaraginam, vairagyam. Shantanam shamadama adi shataka sampatti. Mumukshu, mumukshutvam, that was in the lower category. Desire for freedom, liberation. Apekshaha, keeping them in the mind. Ayam, this, Atma Bodha, abhithiyate. I am composing these verses for these tapobhihi, for those who are engaged in self-tapas, because of which they have these qualities grown in them. They have become sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. उनके पास बहुत wealth है. Sampanna, sampatti. There are two different words meaning the same. Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. ये हमारा यही हमारा wealth है. And how many people in the world really believe that qualities is our wealth, character is our wealth? That development of our own being along the lines of what Shastra says, that is our wealth we have acquired. the ones who have these qualities, तपस करके आई है, एंड उसका लक्षण ये कैसे हुई, बिकॉज पाप उनके क्षय हुए. फॉर देम आई एम कंपोजिंग आत्मा बोधा. And then next week we will start with the next verse. I will quickly take over. We'll just do the invocation, and then if there's any questions, we will open up for question. And the question, of course, related to सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः, ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.